we're going to move on. I've got to ask you about Rashford because what's going on there? There was a lot of talk at the start of the window. He was the name, wasn't he, Crookie? And it's gone a little bit quiet.
Well, it was no coincidence that a lot of journalists ran with the same information on Tuesday, that Rashford was doing extra training. He was willing to fight for his place in the team.
What a surprise. No one's come in for him yet,
Exactly.
and suddenly is 100% committed and has no problem with Ruben Amorim or the club. If you were that committed, don't say that you want to leave.
I think he made a massive error of judgment with what he said to Henry Winter, and that's not a criticism of Henry at all, who's a fantastic journalist.
Yeah.
But when a player comes out publicly and says, I need a new challenge, that's not going to go down well with the manager. It's not gone down well with the supporters either. And, you know, he's saying now he wants to fight for his place. Well, where was the fight when he was actually on the pitch? You know, when he was sulking about and, you know, maybe not putting a shift in as Manchester United fans would expect. So, but it's a really difficult situation. And again, I've written about this in the notebook. If he does stay, and there's still interest from Borussia Dortmund and from Monaco and from Barcelona as well.
So there's interest there?
Yeah, but financially it's a really difficult deal to do. You know, he's on 325 grand a week plus bonuses, image rights, takes it nearer 400 grand a week. Even if United are asking for clubs to pay half that, that's a 200 grand a week commitment, which for clubs in Europe is an awful lot of money. So something's going to have to give. It wouldn't surprise me if he does stay. I said right at the start of the window, it's all very well saying he wants to leave, but where's he going to go? And, you know, when a player comes out and says they want to leave, normally they've got something lined up. I don't think he did at that stage. But if he does stay, how does Ruben Amorim reintegrate him into the team? How does he patch up that relationship?
Because surely, in order to keep his stock as high as Rashford's stock at the minute can be, surely you can't just keep him benched to try and get rid of him.
You just devalue the asset.
Yeah,
and also, there's an argument. You look at these performances. Peak Marcus Rashford improves the team.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen peak Marcus Rashford for a long time.
I think that's what it is. I think he's been our star man for a long time too. So if you make your star man someone as inconsistent as Rashford, you get inconsistent results. And
do you know what I'd like him to do? If he doesn't leave, come on Inside Devils.
Yeah.
Give us an interview. Open up. You know, tell us what's been going wrong for you in the last 18 months or so.
Yeah.
Show a little bit of contrition for those performances.
Honesty, man.
Stop playing the victim.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. We want the Marcus Rashford exclusive. Come on here and tell us exactly how you feel, Marcus. Now it is time to look ahead to a huge European fixture at Old Trafford this Thursday as we take on Rangers. The visitors sit just one place beneath United in the automatic round of 16 places heading into the crunch match. And it was only right that we hear from Mr. Rangers himself. Here's what happened when I caught up with the legendary Ali McCoist earlier. Thank you very much for sitting down for us for Inside Devils to preview what's going to be a huge game for both clubs, isn't it? I mean, they've only played each other 4 times in their history. I don't mind telling you Manchester United have never lost to Rangers in their history as well. But you must be licking your lips right now at the prospect of playing United.
I'm not sure I'd go that far. Just going back to a couple of the games, I was assistant to Walter when we had a 0 each draw at Old Trafford.
Wow.
That might have been the year we went to... Anyway, went to final. I was also at the game, at Ibrox. I think Wayne Rooney scored a penalty and United won 1-0.
Okay.
So...
And you were there for that?
I was there for that game as well.
Okay.
So not a lot between the sides, really. But this is an interesting one because there's no doubt about it. Both teams have had better sides recently. Both teams are kind of... they're struggling domestically. The interesting thing from Rangers' point of view, their better form this year has been in Europe. Yeah. And some of the better forms have been away from home. And I've seen them all, been working at them all. I was in Malmo, they had a good victory 2-0. They won 4 in Nice. And they should have won in Greece. Olympiacos ended up drawing. So their form actually, you know, in contrast to their domestic football, the European football's been a level up. I obviously think United will start favourites, but I just think the lack of consistency from both sides this year makes it a kind of difficult game for anybody. Hard to predict with any conviction. You know, I would say I would fancy United, right? Because you look at United team, you think they've got better players at this moment in time than Rangers. As I say, Rangers away form and the league's been bang average. In fact, it's not been as good as bang average. It's been poor. So with that in mind, I would fancy United. But then something in the back of my head says, but you've seen United recently and they're poor. So I think it's a nearly impossible, very, very difficult game to call because of the lack of consistency and the level of performance from both teams, mate.
How would you set up against United? Would you go for it?
No, I wouldn't. Rangers going away from home in Europe. If they went to go to United, you know, I just think it would suit United. And I say they still get players that can really, really hurt you. So I don't expect Rangers to go and open up against United. I expect them to go with a solid shape, with kind of 4-3-3 in attack, maybe a 4-5-1 when you don't have the ball, because the boys in wide areas are going to have to come back. There's no doubt about it. Or they might go 4-2-3-1. But the bottom line is when they don't have the ball, whether it's a 2 and a 3, they'll have to come back into a 5 and let United have a little bit of possession.
Yeah, just reading into what you've said there, and obviously off camera as well, we spoke about it today. You've got a really interesting take about Amorim, how he should kind of not abandon ship, but just pivot away from his style for the time being to make sure that United are okay.
I do, Ryan, and you know, we've all got opinions on it. And listen, he's a fantastic coach. That's why he's now coach at Manchester United. And I saw, as I mentioned earlier, I saw his team, an excellent Sporting Lisbon side, playing that shape and playing that formation, dismantle Manchester City, and cruise the league in Portugal. But I just think sometimes you've actually got to play to the strength of your players rather than just stick with a formation that might not suit them.
Yeah.
And I look at United just now, and I might be wrong, it's only my personal opinion, I don't think they're suited to that formation because of the players you've got.
Yeah.
So I think you've got to change, even if your favoured position, your favoured formation and shape doesn't suit it, I think you've got to play a formation and shape that suit your team, that suit your players. And then, given time with transfer windows, bring in players or get players that can play the shape and formation that you want to play and you're comfortable with. But if you've not got the players to do it right now,
it won't work.
And they're not capable of doing it right now, then why would you do it? These centre backs are fine. But I mentioned Chile, I think the two most important, arguably, positions in your team are the two wide boys in your 4.
Yeah.
You know? Because they've got to go bump. They've got to come back to a 5 when you're defending, and they've got to get forward. Yeah. You know, to help the forwards when when you're attacking. And I'm not sure. I mean, when he goes to the 3 and the 4 and the 2, and whether it's Højlund or Zirkzee through the middle, if it's the 2 here and he plays Ahmad or Garnacho, both talented players in my opinion, very talented players, but I don't think they're number 10s.
No.
I don't think they're 10s, I think they're wide players.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think they're wide players.
Naturally they are.
I just think playing in there, they're not comfortable in that position, half turn and things like that. I just think they're happier taking the ball, maybe with a back to the touchline where they can see it and just go and attack. But it's all about personal opinions, you know. It is all about personal opinions.
Yeah, and we hold yours very high regard as well, Ali. So I have a message from our very own Angelina Kelly and Alex Crook, our very own Inside Devils. I'm going to show you them now.
We all know this is your biggest game of the season. It's just another game for Manchester United. And listen, surely even this United team aren't so bad they're going to lose to a Rangers side. 13 points behind Celtic in the SPL. You've already lost 4 league games this season. The title has gone, so this is pretty much all you've got to play for. And I'll tell you what, when United beat you out of sight on Thursday night, that next beer on the beach in Katira that we have in the summer is going to go down very nicely indeed.
Hey Ali, Angelina here. Now, we know Rangers haven't had the best season, and I think I have a solution for your problems. What if I told you that you could sign an £80 million winger, Brazilian, with World Cup and Champions League experience, 5 trophies to his name, and has scored a winner against Barcelona, and has an Olympic gold medal? I mean, that sounds good, right? Would Rangers want to sign Manchester United winger Anthony And could your manager get him back to playing at his best? Despite the transfer rumours, it's not too late to come in with a bid for a permanent deal.
Thank you very, very kindly for your offer. But I think my £80 million will be staying in my bank account at Rangers. Thank you very much, though.
Amazing. Right, to finish, we'll just get your score prediction then, Ali. We always do this on the Inside Devils. What do you think it's going to be? How do you think it's going to go?
I'm officially letting my heart once again rule my head.
Yeah.
And the scoreline on Thursday night will be Manchester United 1, Rangers 1.
Oh, you nearly done me there.
Couldn't do it. I'll take if you're offered, I'd bite your hand off for a 1-1 right now.
You know what? I'd probably take it as well. Ali, thank you very much.
Great to see you, mate.
Always a pleasure.
Great to see you.
There we go. Ali McCoist. Ali, thank you very much as always for your time. So he's gone for 1-1. Ange, by the way, he's politely declined your request for Anthony.
Devastated. Thank goodness you've given me some good news, because Ali and Rangers was my last hope.
Exactly. Fighting talk from you there, Crookie.
I didn't mean a word of it, by the way. I didn't believe a word of it anyway.
Yeah, but you just got to put it up, haven't you? You just got to show a good front. But Ali McCoist himself said this is a really difficult one to predict because both teams are underperforming in the league respectively. Crookie, you went for 1-1 in the end. How do you think this game's going to go? Just like, I mean, Brighton, it didn't shock me, that result. It didn't shock me. It didn't ruin my day because I half expect it. How should we approach this? How do you think it will go?
Listen, I don't want to be disrespectful to Scottish football here, but if you take away the sort of Battle of Britain element, if this was a home game against a team from another European country of a similar standing of Rangers, we would be confident and we should be confident.
Yeah.
Manchester United should be beating Rangers at home. But the fact it's a bit of a derby certainly adds a lot of pressure. And what worries me about Rangers, they're not dissimilar to United, actually. They're underperforming in the league. But when they've needed to, they've stepped up and got results. They hammered Celtic the other week, which nobody expected. And they've got some really good results in Europe, hence the fact they've got a great chance of qualifying for the round of 16. So they are dangerous opponents, and it's going to be a hell of an atmosphere that the Rangers fans create. There is an argument, this is one of United's biggest games of the season, because ultimately losing at home to Brighton, there's not going to be any consequence. Those three teams that have come up from the Championship are so poor that there's no danger of United being dragged into relegation. Wolves are not great either. I think Southampton are gone, and then it's two from the other three. So we don't need to worry about relegation, although... Which is a crazy sentence. Well, yeah. If you'd have said that to me at the start of the season, it'd have blown my mind. But you're absolutely right. But it means you can almost learn on the job in the Premier League. Yeah. But if United win this, if we win this game, suddenly the round of 16 moves onto the horizon. And there's a Champions League place at stake in the Europa League. Yeah. And you haven't got the headache this year of the underperformers in the Champions League dropping into the Europa League. So you know what you've got to face. Yeah. Tottenham were favourites last time I checked. If Tottenham are favourites in their current state, United have got to be fancying their chance of winning this competition. But to do that, they've got to get the job done here, and then they've got to go to Bucharest in the next game and get the job done there as well.